So the last couple slides here are going to talk about where we get our opinions from. Now that I went on probably far too long about how polls are done and how they work, I guess I just think it's such an important topic that I want you all to leave this class with. But I want to talk about then our last things is how we derive our experience, basically, or how we acquire our opinions. And we derive it from experience. We all learn our opinions based on our life experiences. And the important part of this slide, I've got a lot of information here, and I'll talk about some of it. The important part of this, though, is to think about how who you are shapes what you believe, your experiences. Whether that has to do with your race, your gender, your income, those sorts of things that we know affect opinion, or what it has to do with just the life you've lived, what you've done, all these sorts of things, these ideas. Your attitudes come from who you are, and I really want you all, I guess it's a good pseudo-closing note for the class, is to try and look outside yourself. Take a minute. Look outside yourself. Think about how who you are shapes your beliefs, how what you've experienced shapes what you feel, and think about the same for others. Everyone else has the same sort of experiences you do, or they don't have the same experiences, but their experiences shape their beliefs in the same way that yours do. Who they are, where they come from, the things they've seen, the things they've experienced, those shape their beliefs. And instead of dismissing people who disagree with us as either uninformed or beneath us or just wrong, try and spend a minute thinking about how they got where they are. Why do they believe what they do? You don't have to change your mind, but spend a few minutes thinking about why does this person disagree with me and how did they get to where they are? How did they get to that opinion? The world would be a better place if we spent a little bit more time trying to figure that out rather than just shouting down the other side. So where do we get these experiences? Experiences from childhood, young adulthood are most influential, but new experiences can alter your attitudes at any stage of life. I mean, becoming a homeowner, paying taxes the first time, like paying serious taxes the first time, can absolutely shape your opinion on things. Becoming a homeowner, saving for retirement, these sorts of things absolutely change your opinions. Having children yourself, from what I'm told, changes your opinions dramatically. Any sort of major experience, or even a lot of minor experiences, can alter your attitudes. Political socialization I talk about here. And political socialization is the idea of who you speak to, who you're around, who your parents were. What political environment did you grow up in? What political environment do you surround yourself with? Who do you learn? And that could be the greater community of, let's say, Americans or Virginians. It could be your peer group, the people you spend time with, your friends. It could be your family. It could be your parents. We know a lot of political opinions come from our parents, from your brothers and sisters, from your partner, whoever. Socialization becomes an incredibly important part of this. The next issue I want to talk about is information. And this is where I have the phrase cognitive misers here. And the idea is that we like to make decisions, the best possible decision, with as little information as possible. I don't want to spend the next, 6 months trying to figure out who the right candidate for me is. I want to spend the next 6 minutes figuring out who the right candidate for me is. So what is information I could learn to shape that, to make the best possible decision? I want to be right and I want to pick the right candidate, but I want to do so without burning a bunch of calories. So we become cognitive misers. We take in as little information as we need to take in, especially about things like politics, where maybe it's not your passion. The biggest example of this is what we call heuristics. And heuristics are cognitive shortcuts. It's a good concept to know. Heuristics are cognitive shortcuts for making decisions. And in the real world, it could be price. Maybe we look at the price of an object, and the more expensive it is, the better it is. Maybe we look at the brand. I like this brand, or I like this brand. In politics, the biggest heuristic is going to be partisanship. I know if someone is a Democrat, they probably share certain beliefs with other Democrats. I know if someone is a Republican, they share certain beliefs with other Republicans. Those labels are informative. They're a powerful heuristic for us. If you learn someone is a Democrat or a Republican, that can really help shape your opinion and teach you a lot about them with only one piece of information. That's really important. You can add on to that a couple issues. Look, I am a whatever party I am, and I also believe in funding higher education. So I will learn which party the candidate is, and then how he or she feels on higher education funding. I'll take those two pieces of information, I'll make my decision, and I'll be right a significant portion of the time. I'll pick the correct candidate for me. There's some great work out there by Law and Redlosk that's called Voting Correctly, and it looks to see if people basically vote correctly. And spoiler alert, if you learn somebody's party, and if you learn, a couple issues, you'll pretty much get it right. This is what we do, though. We adopt heuristics. We adopt shortcuts, cognitive shortcuts, as a way of teaching us about what we need to know. That's about all I have for this lecture. Thank you all very much. And that should be about it for the class. I think we have one more lecture video on an article, but other than that, I think we're ready to go. So thank you very much, everybody. Have a great semester.